Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to take a step back in time and talk about some old-fashioned frugal living tips that will save you quite a bit of money. This is especially important for seniors and retirees that live on a fixed income. These tips have been passed down through generations and are still relevant in today's world. But don't get me wrong, living frugally doesn't mean sacrificing quality of life. Instead, it's about making smart choices with your money and resources. So, let's get started. Tip number 1, cancel unused subscriptions and memberships. The first thing you should do is cancel any subscriptions and memberships that you're not using. Look through your bank and credit card statements for the last few months to catch any monthly subscriptions or memberships that you don't really need or use. This is basically found money. This is the first frugal living tip that's very easy to do. In the past, families would only subscribe to or join organizations that they really needed or wanted. However, nowadays it's too easy to forget that $5 or $10 monthly charge that's deducted from your bank account. This not only saves you money, but also reduces clutter and stress. You can cancel subscriptions and memberships that you no longer need or use to save money and simplify your life. Tip number 2, cook from scratch. Next on our list is cooking from scratch. In the past, families often cooked meals from scratch using whole foods and ingredients they grew themselves. This not only saved them money, but also ensured that the food was healthy and nutritious. Today, we can still follow this tradition by cooking from scratch using fresh ingredients. This means avoiding prepackaged and processed foods, which can be expensive and unhealthy. Cooking from scratch can also be a fun and creative activity, as you can experiment with different ingredients and flavors. So why not try it out today? Tip number 3, grow your own food. Another frugal living tip that was common in the past was growing your own food. Many families had their own vegetable gardens, fruit trees, and herb patches. This not only saved money but also ensured that the food was fresh and free from harmful chemicals. Even if you live in an apartment, you can still grow herbs and small vegetables in pots or on a windowsill. This not only saves money on groceries, but also gives you a sense of pride and satisfaction in growing your own food. Tip number 4, preserving and canning food. Preserving and canning food is another old-fashioned frugal living tip that we can still use today. In the past, families would preserve and can food during the harvest season to ensure that they had enough food to last through the winter. Preserving or canning food not only saves money, but also reduces food waste. You can preserve and can fruits, vegetables, and even meats. This is a great way to have and enjoy out-of-season food all year round. Tip number 5, use cloth instead of disposable items. Another frugal living tip that was common in the past is using cloth instead of disposable items. In the past, families used cloth napkins, towels, and handkerchiefs instead of disposable paper products. By following this tradition today, will not only save your money but also reduce waste. You can use cloth, napkins, towels, and handkerchiefs, and even cloth diapers instead of disposable ones. This is a great way to reduce your environmental footprint, as well as saving money. Tip number 6, repair and mend instead of replacing. In the past, families would repair and mend clothing, furniture, and other household items instead of replacing them. Today, we can do the same by repairing and mending items instead of replacing them. This not only saves money but also reduces waste. You can repair clothing, furniture, and even small appliances instead of replacing them. This is a great way to save money instead of dumping them in the landfill. Tip number 7, embrace secondhand shopping. Embracing secondhand shopping is another frugal living tip that we can still use today. In the past, families would shop at thrift stores, garage sales, and flea markets to save money on clothing and household items. You can follow this tradition of reducing waste by shopping in secondhand stores. Plus, I guarantee this will really save you a large amount of money. You can find great deals on clothing, furniture, and other household items at thrift stores and garage sales. Save yourself some real money and help the environment by going secondhand. Tip number 8. Utilize public transportation or carpool. Families would walk, bike, or take public transportation in the past instead of driving their own cars. Today, we can do the same, at least now and then. This not only saves money on gas and car maintenance, but also reduces carbon emissions. You can also walk or bike for short distances instead of driving. Plus, this will help the environment also. Tip number 9. Reduce energy consumption. In the past, families would use candles and oil lamps instead of electric lights and would keep their homes cool in the summer by opening windows and using fans. Today, we can still follow this tradition by reducing our energy consumption. This will reduce the carbon footprint and save you money on utility bills. You can turn off lights and electronics when not in use, use energy-efficient light bulbs, and adjust your thermostat to save energy. Tip number 10. Make your own cleaning products. Making your own cleaning products is another frugal living tip that we can still use today. In the past, families would make their own cleaning products using simple ingredients like vinegar and baking soda. Today, we can still follow this tradition. This not only will reduce exposure to harmful chemicals, but also save you money on cleaning supplies. You can make your own cleaning products using simple ingredients like vinegar, baking soda, and essential oils. Tip number 11. Use the library. In the past, families would borrow books and other materials from the library instead of buying them. Today, we can still follow this tradition by using the library. This not only saves money on books and other materials, but also promotes literacy and community. You can borrow books, movies, music, and other materials from the library for free. This is a great way to save money and expand your knowledge. Tip number 12. Practice the 30-day rule. In the past, families would wait 30 days before making a non-essential purchase to ensure that it was something they really needed or wanted. Today, we can still follow this tradition by practicing the 30-day rule. This not only saves money on impulse purchases, but also promotes mindful consumption. Simply wait 30 days before making a non-essential purchase to ensure that it's something you really need or want. It's a great way to save money. Tip number 13. Plan meals and create a grocery list. Families in the past would plan meals based on what was in season and what they had on hand, and would create a grocery list to ensure that they only bought what they needed. Today, we can still follow this tradition by planning meals based on what's in season and what you have on hand, and create a grocery list to ensure that you only buy what you need. This will greatly reduce food waste, plus it will save you money on groceries. Tip number 14. Learn basic home maintenance skills. In the past, most families would repair and maintain their own homes by themselves instead of hiring professionals. If you learn some basic home maintenance skills like painting, plumbing, and electrical work, you will in no time be able to do some home maintenance skills yourself. This, in turn, will save you a substantial amount of money on your home repairs, as well as give you a sense of independence and self-sufficiency. Tip number 15. Embrace a minimalist lifestyle. In the past, families would only keep what they really needed or wanted and would avoid excess and clutter. Today, we need to follow this tradition to reduce the environmental footprint. This not only saves money on unnecessary purchases, but also reduces clutter and stress. You can focus on what really matters in life and avoid excess and clutter to save money and simplify your life. I hope you enjoyed learning about some old-fashioned frugal tips that could save you a substantial amount of money every month. I also hope you found this video informative and helpful, but also make sure to check out my video on frugal living tips for retirees. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Now start saving some money.